The following is a Tony Lasano podcast, an Opie show on the Radio Misfits Podcast Network. This is Free Kicks. Okay, Adam, we just finished watching some Champions League games.
We did, yes.
It was not a good couple of days for the English Premier League teams, but there was a couple of big moments like this one.
Eza on the turn and hits and scores! Oh my word! It's an absolute stunner from Iberra Eza. Even William Saliba can't believe the quality of that. My oh my, a thing of beauty from Iberra Eza.
There it is. And it doesn't do justice. The words don't do justice to how great that goal was.
Yeah, it was a good one.
It was from way outside again.
Yeah,
he's got some skills, that guy.
Yeah, he does.
Which is good, because the rest of Arsenal has been boring. But we'll talk about that and many other things here, because it's time for Free Kicks.
And now, Free Kicks. Free Kicks with Illinois Youth Soccer Association's Director of Coaching, Adam Howarth, and Rick Kemper.
And then there were 8.
Yes.
We're down to the final 8, and these are not exactly wallflower teams. Not a lot of upsets in here. We just watched Liverpool knock out Galatasaray.
Yeah.
They along with Arsenal are the only 2 English teams that are in the final 8.
Yeah.
There were 6 in the 16.
Yeah, we talk a lot about the English Premier League being the best league.
Yeah.
They didn't do themselves very much justice here this past week.
No.
And you can probably say, it's probably fair to say that the other games that the teams lost, they got thumped.
They did. I mean, all 4 of them.
Yeah.
Barcelona 8-3 over Newcastle
Yeah.
in the aggregate, I guess it's called.
Yep, that's it.
PSG 8-2 over Chelsea in the aggregate. As we speak here, the Atletico game's not over yet, but they crushed Tottenham also.
Yep.
Not looking good.
7-4, I think, right now, as it with a couple minutes left.
Yeah. So that's a bummer. But, these are some pretty good teams that are in the final 8, so you can't really complain. Liverpool, you got Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, who looked really good.
Yeah, destroyed Newcastle. Yeah.
Bayern Munich looks unstoppable right now.
Wow.
They, in that first game, it was kind of a flex, I thought. They didn't even play Harry Kane in the first game. And they still won 6-1.
Yeah.
And now they're crushing them again. You got Arsenal. They were kind of fortunate, I think, to get past Leverkusen. Leverkusen is not that great of a team. Arsenal barely got through.
Yeah. They played better in the second leg for sure.
They did.
They were definitely, and obviously the great goal, but they were really good. They got that 16-year-old who's quite good too.
How about that?
Taking things on.
Yeah, I like that. Real Madrid, of course, easily knocked out Manchester City. And we were talking about this before we started taping. Manchester City looks like they've kind of lost some spunk.
Yes.
I don't know what it is about them.
Yeah. I think it's like the momentum's gone. They had a bit of momentum, and now it's all of a sudden turned down. And those 2 results against a Real Madrid that didn't have all their players as well. And that's the thing. And so, are they going to have enough to even challenge Arsenal for the title? We'll find out.
Yeah, it's not looking like it. And Pep showed up dressed like me. He looked like he was just like, whatever.
Yeah,
we've lost this. But PSG, we were talking about this too. PSG really did a great job against Chelsea. Or is it that Chelsea did not show up?
I think a little bit of both, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think it was Chelsea played very poorly in the second leg. The first leg, they were in it until the last 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And the momentum was, you could tell that kind of fell off, which then bled into the league game on the weekend against Newcastle, and then conceding 2 goals in 15 minutes. The first 15 minutes just absolutely destroys you.
Yeah.
And with a young back line, I was just like, oof.
I know.
It was like,
what about that? Yeah, let's talk about the lineup that he put out there. It was not their best lineup.
No, lots of question marks in terms of especially in the backs, and I can probably say this is not just Chelsea, but you could probably put it on Newcastle. Defending in general has been horrendous.
Yeah.
all the teams are really struggling defensively, and he put Sarr in the back there, and that he got beat on the first goal.
Yep.
And then again, they just look at odds at different things. You could even say the game on the weekend was the same thing. They weren't working together. So defensively, that's where their biggest issue is. And then obviously they had a few openings here and there, opportunities here, but don't have that killer instinct right now.
They do have offensive firepower. I mean, if you look at their goal difference in the Premier League, I think they have
it's good.
17 or something like that.
Yeah, it is good.
So, I'm rooting for them, which feels weird, but that was rough. And then Sporting, really, maybe the story of this Champions League so far, because Bodo Glimt was up 3-0.
Right.
And they lost 5-0 at Sporting.
Well, the interesting thing was I was listening to this. So in the first game, Sporting basically rested their whole starters.
Oh, is that what they did?
That's what they did. So that was quite the, obviously, that's what ended up happening in terms of the goal differential, 3-0 down.
They didn't want to play in the cold.
They did whatever it is. Yeah, exactly. They didn't want to. And then they came back, got all their starters back, and obviously scored 5 goals and took it to them. But it went into extra time. So
that's true.
They still had to work for it. But they were always worthy. They always had the players over. No offense to Bodo Glimt. This was just extra games for them.
That's true. So we haven't done a show in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So since we last spoke, the FA Cup quarterfinal draw was announced. And boy, there's some interesting games. There's still a underdog team left in the draw, and that's Port Vale.
That's right.
What do you know about Port Vale?
Not a heck of a lot.
Yeah.
In terms of famous people who are fans of Port Vale, one of my favorite singers, Robbie Williams.
Oh, really?
Yeah, is a big Port Vale fan. I think he actually even holds some shares in Port Vale as well. But they came through. They've got themselves you could probably say out of all the teams now, in terms of teams who are struggling, they've probably got the best draw.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. They're probably fairly confident, although they've got to go to Chelsea.
Right.
Not that Chelsea's a fortress these days. I think that they may think they have a chance. Yeah. But then also Chelsea may think, hey, we got the easy draw.
Yeah, that's true. And they did get the easy draw. Southampton is also in the final 8. Yep. They're a championship team, but they're playing Arsenal.
Yes.
So they got a bad draw.
Yeah. I mean, the good thing is they're at home. You know, that's the thing. And they've had a lot of Arsenal. Interestingly enough, a lot of players who've gone through Southampton have ended up playing for Arsenal.
That's true.
So there's probably going to be a bit of a niggle match for them, but I think, Arsenal should be fine in that game.
All right, I'm writing this down. A niggle match.
Yeah.
What does that mean exactly?
It just means that, how can I explain it? It's going to be tense. They'll be tense. It'll be a tense game for them, yes.
All right.
Squeaky bum time is what they call it.
Okay, gotcha.
Throwing them all out today, all the cliches.
Yes. Well, West Ham United is also facing Leeds United. That's an interesting game because both of those teams are struggling to stay in the Premier League.
Full Premier League.
They're really playing for this FA Cup, don't you think?
Oh, yeah. Certainly West Ham. I mean, this is an opportunity for these teams to win a trophy, right? So this is what they're really geared for. And again, they get lucky with the draw. West Ham was at home. They got through on penalty kicks in the previous round.
They did, yep.
That was another bad penalty taken that Brentford ended up missing.
Horrible. Horrible.
Everybody's trying these Panenkas and they turn into a Rubbershenka. That's what it is.
That's true. And then the final game is probably the toughest one. That's Manchester City versus Liverpool.
Yeah.
I think whoever wins that is going to the finals. That's my theory.
Could well happen. Yeah, I think that, I mean, this is the quarterfinal. So again, the thing with the FA Cup is it's a blind draw because Who knows? Whoever wins that game could get Arsenal or could get...
That's true. That's true.
So you can't really predict.
Could be Arsenal versus Man City and Port Vale versus West Ham. You never know.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, but those are not coming up for a little while. April 4th is when those games are going to be played.
Yeah, because we've got a few weeks. So this weekend we've got Premier League games, but then a couple of weeks, really kind of a week and a half off.
Yeah, right.
Because we've got the spring break, which is kind of the international matches, but the exciting part about that is we also have the World Cup qualifying matches.
That is true.
So we've got a lot of things to watch there. So that'll be good.
And there's, I think, 8 more possible teams to get in.
That's right.
So that'll be interesting too. All right, let's talk about international news here because there's some big stories this week. Let's start here with this Africa Cup of Nations story. This is a weird one.
Yeah, it's a very strange one, almost a very controversial decision. So obviously you had Morocco and Senegal in the final.
Yeah.
Senegal won it. There was this big, huge...
We talked about it when it happened.
Decision. They took the teams off, whatever it is. And then now they've gone back, and I think they were labeling it, this is the longest VAR decision ever. And they've gone back in and they said...
57 days later.
Actually, we're going to give it to Morocco.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's such
How could they do that?
I don't know.
I think that's a terrible decision.
I agree with you.
If they were going to make that decision, they have to make it on that day while it's happening, right?
Exactly. The games shouldn't be won by executives.
Right.
People talking and sitting around thinking about this is it, because that's not how it should be. But I was listening to people talking about this. You're never going to take away that day that Senegal won it.
True.
And it may go on the sheet as a little asterisk, but Senegal, they celebrated a victory.
True.
And so you can't take that away. So in their eyes, they probably still won it.
And in Morocco's eyes, how good do you feel about that?
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly right. Exactly. Yeah, you're not one of, it's like when in the Olympics when sometimes they get the gold medal if there was some problems. You know, back in the day, it used to be obviously the sprinters and drugs and what have you.
Right.
They failed a drugs test.
German swimmers and what have you.
Exactly. Failed a drugs test or whatever. Yeah. That's how they got the medal. It just doesn't feel the same.
No.
You know,
it does not.
So, you know, we'll find out. We'll find out more as it kind of entails. And I'm sure Senegal are going to appeal a big decision. So it could go on forever.
Yeah. Maybe we'll find out in 57 days.
Yeah.
The other big story in the news this week is about your club, Chelsea. They were punished by the league, ish. I'm going to say ish.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Let me read how the punishment went down. They have a 1-year ban on signing first-team players, but they're suspended for 2 years. They'll be allowed to continue registering transfers, provided they don't breach the rules again, which basically means there's no penalty, right?
Yeah, yeah.
They did get a $10 million or £10 million fine, which is something considering they've lost like $340 million already. But I think what happened here is they kind of threw themselves on the mercy of the court. They self-reported a lot of this stuff when Abramovich sold, right? So they also got a 9-month ban on recruiting academy players, although there's a lot of caveats to that. It only applies to players who have been registered with Premier League or EFL teams in the past 18 months.
Yeah, right.
So anybody coming from another country, it is fine.
Yeah, yeah.
So not much of a penalty, right?
No. And this was, to give people perspective, this was between 2011 and 2018. So like a 7-year period. And this was obviously before the new group who took over, Todd Bowley and all of his group there.
Right.
And he found out, there's some
Shenanigans,
exactly. Yeah. There you go. Good Irish word here on the St. Patrick's Week. But so there was some stuff there that was going on, and so they ended up, we're going to report it, like you said, self-report it, and end up, this is the fine they're getting.
So my question is, what is going on with Man City?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Talking about this since we started doing this podcast, which is in our 8th season, they still have not handed down any penalties of any kind.
115 supposed violations of some type, and nothing's been done yet. I think Man City has some very good lawyers that are able to keep things out.
Apparently so.
And there's this mitigation that seems to be going on and on. So I think at some point something's going to happen. You
think so?
Yeah. At some point.
I think, Pep is talking about leaving at the end of the season. Maybe after he leaves, then they suddenly decide.
Yeah, maybe. And maybe this isn't the year, like you said, this isn't the year they're having, maybe it's not going to have as big of an effect on everything that's taking place. So right. I don't know. Again, it's going to be up to the Premier League as to how they do that.
Well, they're still alive in all the other cups. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're still alive in the No, they're out of the Champions League now.
Well, they're out of the Champions League. Got the league.
Still in the FA Cup.
FA Cup, yeah. Mm-hmm. And they play in the League Cup final.
That's true. So could be.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's do our stat of the week.
Okay.
I've just started looking into penalties because my man Mo Salah missed another one today.
Yeah, not good.
So here's some stats for you. Who do you think has scored the most penalties in the Premier League history?
Most penalties. Well,
and the number is 56.
Yeah. So there's certain players who you always take them. And it's always, I know we've just talked about this, strikers are more often not taking penalty kicks.
Right.
So my initial person I think of is the leading goal scorer in Premier League history. That's got to be Alan Shearer.
That's it. You're right. Good. How about this one? Most penalties won.
So the person who got fouled the most.
Person who got fouled the most in the penalty box. Who is it? I'll tell you, second place is Jamie Vardy, and third place is Wilfried Zaha.
Really? Jamie Vardy's up there, huh? Wow.
And this one player who has the record has played for Liverpool, Manchester City, and Chelsea, and Arsenal.
Wow.
And just recently is not playing for anybody.
Okay, so it's got to be Raheem Sterling.
It's Sterling.
Really? Wow.
Most penalties.
How many?
Won. It doesn't say here, but yeah.
That's interesting stat. Yeah.
It is. And then how about this one? Who has the best percentage of penalties scored? 100%. Over 10 penalties. There's only one player that's ever done it. And he's currently still playing.
Really? Scored every penalty.
I believe he's with Fulham now.
Okay. Fulham?
He's Mexican.
Oh, Raul.
Yeah.
Jimenez. Yeah. Okay.
13 for 13.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, fairly good.
Yeah. That's really good, actually. Yeah. And a striker, too. It's the strikers that do it. Sometimes there's the occasional defender that comes up and is able to just ping a shot. But it's an easy way for a striker to score. That's how I look at it. Because it's the way to make their money.
That's why you sometimes see fights, amongst players. I'm taking it. No, I'm taking it. Because they see it as a freebie.
Exactly.
All right, Free Kicks is brought to you by the Illinois Youth Soccer Association.
Illinois Youth Soccer has been proudly serving the Illinois soccer community since 1975. Illinois Youth Soccer is a non-profit corporation, official state association and charter member of the U.S. Soccer Federation, administers U.S. Soccer Federation coaching programs, the Olympic Development Program, and U.S. Soccer Federation referee programs. For more information, go to illinoisyouthsoccer.org.
And now, the latest Chicago area soccer news. Soccer news with Coach Adam. Coach Adam.
Yeah, so, I mean, really, it's just one thing I wanted to really kind of put forward is to let everybody know that the season's starting because the weather's breaking.
I know.
So everybody's getting outside. So the indoor season is done.
So the weather's breaking. So the fact that I shoveled this morning.
Yeah, I know. I did shovel too. Yeah. I did. But it's already melted.
Yeah.
It's already melted. But really the biggest thing. So we had a little bit of a kickoff on Friday, which was nice. Had some coaches come in, a few little awards, and want to give credit to our Premier clubs. So congratulations to those four that were there. That was Kicks from Chicago, Northwind from Chicago, Chicago City, and Heart of the City. So those 4 are fully accredited Premier clubs. Sure. So congrats to them, and they were there in attendance and was able to get their little plaque that they can put up in their office, which is great. So, nice. So excited.
Is it as nice as that plaque over there?
Actually, it's
Volunteer of the Year, Rick Kempfer.
Yeah, remember that
2018.
2018,
so 8 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
You'd think somebody who was in it 8 years ago wouldn't be in it anymore, but sadly, that's
he's
not the
still
case.
Volunteering. He still hasn't given it up. No, that's right. Good. But no, we're excited for the season. Look, so want to wish all the clubs best of luck as they get ready. I know you said it looks like Sean's got games this weekend.
Yeah, he does.
He's going to be busy playing in a tournament, so the tournaments will be starting, so it should be a lot of fun.
Time now to guess the Premier League star.
Okay, I think I might be able to even stump you on this one.
Wow, okay, good.
So this Premier League star is 28 years old. Okay. And the reason why I think I might be able to stump you is because he's a defender. He's a right back. He doesn't score a lot. Mm-hmm. He scores occasionally.
Yeah.
But he's a star. He wears number 3 on his team. And he currently plays on one of the top 4 clubs in the standings, in the Premier League standings.
Okay.
Right? Okay. He's also currently observing Ramadan. There's a little hint. He was born in Holland.
Okay.
He played professionally in Germany and plays for a national team that is neither of those countries. And it's also not England. Let me personalize this one for you a little bit. You have personally visited the home stadiums of all 3 clubs he has played for. The one in Holland, Ajax.
Okay.
The one in Germany, Bayern Munich. Mm-hmm. And his Premier League club stadium, which is one of the most famous in the world.
Gotcha. So I'm guessing he is playing with Liverpool.
No.
Top 4. So it's got to be Man United.
Yes.
So when we think of Man United, we think of Morocco. He's got to be Morocco, right? So
he's recently declared a winner of AFCON.
Yes. So there you have it. So he's kind of been in and out of the squad lately. I don't know if he's been playing much because of what's happening, but Noussair Mazraoui.
Yeah, Mazraoui.
Yeah, yes. I believe is how you pronounce it. So Noussair Mazraoui, yes.
So you wouldn't consider him a star?
No, not even close.
Okay. Right, well,
but that's okay. That's okay. I mean, but to be fair, in terms of let me look to see how many games he even played this year. Uh-huh. I mean, for this season, I don't think he's even played.
Yes, he has. I've seen him play.
He's got 52 appearances for Manchester United. So, yeah, I'll have to, as I delve into it. But I didn't see him play. It was funny because I noticed he was on the bench in the last game.
Yeah, he's still the best.
He's still good.
He's still the best Noussair in all of the Premier League.
But here's
I stand by that.
I agree. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
He's fighting for a position, and the guy's finally healthy who's playing in that position. That's Luke Shaw.
That is true.
And he's probably going to be England's left back in the World Cup.
That's probably true.
Because we've only got. It seems like we've only got one left-footed player in the whole country.
Apparently so.
Because it's funny. He misses the whole season. A few weeks before the World Cup, I'm going to rock on all. I'm going to get myself onto the team, and he's going to be in the England squad. Probably.
I watched him play last week. Luke Shaw. He looked great.
That's the thing.
He's such a on and off player.
Yeah.
But when he's on, he's a very solid defender.
No question.
Dangerous coming down the left side.
Exactly. If you remember, he scored the opening goal in the Euros against Italy. And a game that we lost in the final, of course. But yeah, he's definitely a player. But so I think that's been part of the reason. But I think he can play a few different positions. He could probably play as a wing back, whatever. But hey, Man United, they're on the up. They're doing all right. They're doing good.
That hurts to say, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
It does.
Now time for Adam's Weekend Soccer TV Tip.
Okay, Premier League is going on this weekend.
Yes, we have games this week. And then we're going to be off for a little while, so we've got a little bit of a break. But I'm really excited about this week because in terms of the games, so it's a mixture. We've got Friday night game, which is always fun.
Right.
So that's Bournemouth and Man United. And then after that, it's. I think the games that I'm really interested in are all going to be on Sunday. Saturdays are good. I mean, you've got Everton, Chelsea, Leeds, Brentford, Brighton, Liverpool. But the two games are going to open it up. And the nice thing is, and this is great for you, is that England has not done their clocks yet.
Yes, I've noticed.
So, noticed. So the kickoff is at 7 a.m. So you might be able to get up for that
7.
one. 7 a.m.
Oh.
So this is Newcastle Sunderland. If you're going to watch a derby, that's the derby to watch.
That is true. It's at Newcastle?
It's at Newcastle. It's going to be an unbelievable atmosphere.
Yeah.
It's going to be loud, raucous, because it doesn't matter what the records are.
Right.
It's war between those two. But I think this is going to be the game of the day. Decent time, 9:15.
Yeah.
Tottenham Hotspur at home against Nottingham Forest. They're both battling at the bottom.
That's a big one.
And it's going to be really, really interesting. And give Tottenham some credit. They seem like they're playing a little bit better the last couple of games. Little bit.
Yeah.
Certainly in the Champions League today, they proved they were a bit better.
Yeah.
After their shaky first leg game.
True.
And then Forest, they've been inconsistently consistent. So
yes, that's true.
I think it'll be a good game to watch. If Spurs lose that game, I'm putting my money on them going down.
Wow.
It'd be crazy, wouldn't it?
Did you ever think you'd see that?
No.
With as much money as that club has and that beautiful stadium of theirs.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, exactly. I mean, when you think about it, so Tottenham's got 30 points. Forest is 29, and if West Ham gets a result in their game, Tottenham will be in the bottom 3 with 7 games left.
Yeah, and you have to say, of those teams, they're at least in form, I'd say.
Yeah, exactly. So, they've got 5 losses in their last 6 games. That tells you everything.
Wow. All right, well, we've got something to watch. Now, this program is also sponsored by Green White Soccer Club. The last show, I played a song for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was good.
I was going to play it every week,
okay,
but I
maybe a bit much.
Decided not to do that. But Green White is celebrating our 70th anniversary this year. Go to greenwhitesoccer.org. We have a ladies team again this summer.
That's great. That's good.
Ladies team. We got a U23 team. Mm-hmm. We're going to a tournament at the Donnerschwaben in Cleveland. Mm-hmm. So lots of stuff going on. Plus all our youth program, which we still have like 18, 20 teams. So
perfect.
greenwhitesoccer.org. Now, are we coming back next week, or is next week your spring break?
Next week I'm on spring break, so yeah, that might be tough.
All right, so we will be back. Well, let's thank Tony Lasano with Opie Shows. He's the executive producer of the show. We need to thank Ed Silla with the Radio Misfits Podcast Network. Great Talk Radio isn't dead. It just moved to a better place, radiomisfits.com. And we'll be back in 2 weeks.
That's right.
With a brand new episode of
Free Kicks.
The proceeding was a presentation of the Radio Misfits Podcast Network. Find our other great shows on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and at radiomisfits.com. Thank you.
This has been a presentation of Opie Productions.
Tony, can you shut up?